we do podcasting here at the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center, and we've been doing it for about a year. And each class has been a little different. Kind of the dynamic of the individual students changes it. In the beginning, one of the first things we do is like a kind of a icebreaker is like asking questions like, what are your favorite foods? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? And then some of the students came up with a question like, do you like pineapple on pizza? And that's always like a controversial question. It gets people talking. And so today it was cool because we had a group of students I've had a number of times who've already been sort of working on like kind of like radio dramas, or ends up being just like fantasy type stuff, like and they just like go into their imaginations and create these worlds, and we incorporate sound design and different elements to like make these stories come up. So the first session we did was like a story about like a bank robber, and then this one was about this like fictitious squid who was gonna take over the world. But then I realized like another student who was new to the group, didn't know these other guys, they needed to get to know each other. And so we almost use podcasts as this like way to get to know each other, because you're asking questions. And so what turned into the first questions like, do you like pineapple on pizza, became a whole conversation about the types of food they like. And I saw some fist bumps when they were like, oh, I like my steak medium, or whatever. So that was cool. And so each time we try to switch it up and kind of either like do a totally new exercise or continue with what we were doing the past week. So I think that like the idea of podcasting has changed so much already, like in the landscape. So I think at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're just capturing stories with audio, and learning the basics of recording with a mixer and then editing in Ableton Live software, to show people how to make something, whether that's like an interview, like a serious interview, or a silly podcast or something. I think out of the class, students definitely learn the basics of recording. I mean, microphone placement, how to like not unplug your microphone while you're playing, but also things like we sit down and we actually edit in this software on like it's nonlinear editing software. So learning how to make levels go in the right place. Also, if there was ahs and ums, learning how to cut those things. So we learned those skills on the computer. But then also, I think over the course of the class, I think you start to see people's storytelling skills develop, because they're in real time being like, oh, I did this, and then it's sort of like there's the best stories end up coming to the top. And then I also think interviewing skills have improved too. So I think we teach interviewing skills, storytelling, editing, and how to be in a recording studio. I think this class is perfect for kids who seem like they have a natural sense of storytelling, that always want to, that maybe talk more. Kids that sometimes get chastised for talking too much, or also kids with just creative minds. It's really good for those. And I also think it's good for kids that definitely have some of those creative energies, but don't necessarily know how to like get them out into the world. So even like quieter kids, because I think what's cool is the vibe of the group creates something new for everyone.